Hey, I've got a question for you today. Have you ever had something that was created just for you? Like maybe you hired a home builder to build a house and you spec'd it out. Like, here's where we want the kitchen, here's this, here's that. I've never done that. I've always bought used homes, but maybe you've had a house built for you. Maybe you've had a car built for you. Like, you picked out, oh, I want the interior to be this color and the paint to be that color. Again, I tend to buy used things. I'm trying to think of anything I've had made for me. I can't think of one yet other than my wife. God made her for me, and she's a lot more valuable than any of those other things. But did you know that everything you see on planet Earth, though it's infected by Satan and sin, it was initially made for Jesus, by God the Father and the Son, but for Jesus. This is his world, as is the rest of the universe. Listen to this. There's some fascinating insight into the unseen realm here in verse 16 of Colossians 1. It says that through Jesus, God created everything in the heavenly realm. So you want to go out as far as you can in the universe, which goes so much further than we can see. It's all created for him. Everything in the heavenly realms and everything on earth. That includes you and me, by the way. You were created for Jesus. I was created for Jesus. All the people of the world. That's why it says God so loved the world, he sent his one and only Son. The mountains were created for him. The orca whales were created for him. He made the things we can see, and he made the things we can't see. What does that include? Well, especially 2,000 years ago, microscopic things, subatomic things, molecular things, but that's still in the physical realm. There's a whole other realm. We talk about angels and demons. We know there's at least those two categories. I've maybe shared with you before, if you really read about angels in the book of Isaiah, as well as in Revelation, you start to realize there are different species, or there are almost like different races. There are different kinds of angels. And you look at the physical world, look at the animals, how creative God is. All these different kinds of animals. And look at humans, how none of us have the same fingerprint or the same irises. We're all different. Do you think the angels would be any different from the same creator? Each angel is unique. And each one is beautiful in its own way, and there are these different species of angels. Maybe that's blowing your mind, but you'll find some of that in Isaiah and in Revelation and in the character and nature of God as a creator. He's not like a printing press who's just printing out the same thing of anything that he creates. But did you know that in addition to all that, there are hierarchies of angels? Some have more authority, some have more power than others. And as you've heard, Satan, the devil, is a fallen angel named Lucifer, who was a very high-ranking angel before he became a demon, which is a fallen angel. Michael, you've probably heard of, is perhaps the highest-ranking angel we know of, who's still with the good angels, okay? So listen to this in verse 16. Through Jesus, God created everything in the heavenly realms and on earth. He made the things we can see, the physical realm, the things we can't see in the physical realm, and in the spiritual realm, Jesus created in the angelic and demonic realm thrones, plural, kingdoms, plural, rulers, plural, and authorities, plural, in the unseen world. Now, maybe that blows your mind. It's amazing how complex our God is. But if we look at the galaxy, if we look at universe, if we look at subatomic things, like this is a marvelous God we serve, and it's fascinating, but maybe not all that surprising, that probably when it comes to planet Earth, who knows if God has it broken up by region or by continent or by people group or by language, but there are these hierarchies within the angelic realm, and so similarly within the fallen angels, the demonic realm, and we're all aware of their leader, who's kind of the most well-known of that realm. But the point is, Jesus created them all. Some people think that Jesus is threatened by Satan. Satan would love for you to think that. He's not threatened at all. He created Lucifer, and it's not going to be a problem at all. Jesus is not going to break a sweat when the day comes that he captures Lucifer. And the book of Revelation tells us he's going to bind him and all those fallen angels. They will be sentenced to what is called the lake of fire. And that's where there is eternal suffering for Satan and for the demons. Why? As just consequence for the devastation and demolition they've done to God's earth. All right, there's so much more in here. We'll continue tomorrow. I'll see you then.